Excuse. Welcome to another All Elite with Keeks. I am Keeks. You know what I'm saying? We are here with a special guest. You know him as Sir Wilkins, Mr. Jobber. Mr. Jobber Tears himself. He just had a match on Jobber Slam that he main evented.
Yes.
Everybody. You just saw him at SummerSlam interviewing your favorites. You know what I'm saying? Asking the right questions to your favorites. You know what I'm saying? He's everywhere. He's everywhere. Welcome y'all, Sir Wilkins, to the show. I know y'all like, why you got him on there? But y'all just don't know he is a Collider fan. He does enjoy Collider a lot. So for you Colliders, I got a team Collider, okay? Because we know Dynamite is leading 4-2 on this show. Hey, Jermaine. This weekend, we know it was SummerSlam weekend, and it was also a holiday for the black folk out there in Alabama. You know what I'm saying? It was some wrestling that happened at that. So we're going to get into it just a little bit before we even get to the show. I saw some rock bottom going on. I saw a suplex. We saw a chair shot. The Races did a V trigger so smooth too. I can't even knock it. He had a V trigger so smooth. We saw some chokeholds going on. We saw everything. It was a brawl. It looked like a wrestling brawl, but real fist and shit. It was amazing.
It was war games. It was war games / blood and guts. Like it was a moment. Like when did this happen, actually? Like, was it yesterday this happened?
It happened on Saturday.
Okay. It was Saturday.
Just started recirculating, like, it just resurfaced on that Sunday. Everybody saw it the next day. And then it's been popping today still. So,
it was amazing.
Think of the Negro, like.
It was amazing because, you know what it was? What was so beautiful about it is that we, as a people, came together to help this man who was just trying to do his job. All he was doing was telling these racist people, hey, move your boat because we got to dock this boat right here. And you know, that privilege kicked in. You know how that privilege comes in their bodies. It makes them turn into monsters.
And 9 out of 10 of them rednecks was drunk too.
Oh, 100%. Oh, they were red.
Mm-hmm.
You know how some of the rednecks get red when they get drunk? They were drunk. But it was beautiful. When he threw that hat up, that bat signal set down for all the Negroes.
It was like different like you had the boomers, you had Generation X, you had the millennials, you had Generation Z, the swimmer, like all band together to beat on everybody. Like it was crazy. And then shout out to the people that was filming it because they was helping, telling the police it was them that started it.
100%. So, but you know what's low key? The cops were letting them fight low key.
Into the church side.
You get your hits, and then the chair side guy had to ruin it because he was wilding. He was.
The police was mad. He had to arrest him. He was like, "God damn it! What did you did that for? Now I gotta arrest you."
He was wilding out, but it was such a beautiful sight. Like our ancestors were smiling down, like, "Yo, this is why we march. This is why we took these beatings from the dogs, got sprayed by fire hydrant, all this. This is for y'all. Y'all did y'all thing." And I was proud. I was
ecstatic. It made my day. It's gonna be a great week.
Oh, it's gonna be a phenomenal week because of that. But I heard, I don't know if it's true, but that port was like where they took in slaves.
Oh yeah, it's true.
Oh, okay, it is. It is true.
Yeah. It's funny how life circles around. You know, they was selling us, and now we beating their ass on it. That's crazy. Wonderful. All right, so we're gonna get into the show. Lots to talk about. A lot of, you know what I'm saying, elephants in the room and shit. But we're gonna get into the war. It is the 200th episode of Dynamite that happened, and of course, we're gonna get into Collision because we are in all-in season. It is 3 weeks away. Big night for AEW, big event, a big, very, very big event. So things are a-brewing, as I've been saying for the past 2 weeks. Things are a-brewing, so we're going to pop it off. We're going to give it to Dynamite first. Dynamite, it popped out with Sammy Guevara, Daniel Garcia versus Jericho and Takeshita. And then on Collision, we had, on Collision, we had the World Tag Team Championship, FTR versus Big Bill and also Brian Cage. So you had those two openers for each card. We're going to start with Dynamite first. Great opener. If you don't know your history, you do know that Jericho did mentor Takeshita when he was in Japan. So it is storytelling within that. It's just a little bit if you know your wrestling history. If you followed all the cards, you know. And me being a Jericho stan, you knew I knew. So, yeah, he was his little mentor when he was out there in Japan. And then, of course, he's with his other kids that he's fighting against, which is Daniel Garcia and Sammy Guevara. I'm still trying to get used to the dance, okay? I'm still trying to get used to it. It still hasn't grown on me a little bit. But I'm not used to, I'm not there yet, y'all, like everybody else.
Ashley has just been, and Garcia's just dancing amok right here. He's dancing amok.
What did you think about the match on Dynamite? If you was able to,
I watched. Listen, you sent a very well put together report. Make sure I was prepared. So first things first, shout outs to Tony Khan being that rich uncle that celebrates everything. Because I feel like every other week, every other month, there's a celebration on Dynamite. Yeah. But shout out to 200 episodes. That's number one. Number two, the match. I didn't know the history between Jericho and his partner. I'll be honest with you on that one. What I did appreciate was that he pinned Sammy.
Yeah.
I like that little thing that they had going on within the match, and that he ended up pinning Sammy, which could later lead to something else because of their history, the mentorship that he has on Dynamite.
Mm-hmm.
I prefer this match because of the story, and then you just added another layer to this whole match.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I enjoyed it, and you know, Sammy and Garcia be moving.
Yeah,
they be moving. They be doing the cool shit. I be appreciating that. Now I might be moving too fast forward. When it came to the Collision tag team match, it was good, but it was kind of basic because you know.
I said it's FTR, but yeah.
Yeah, it was basic like heel work and face work. It was basic like that. It wasn't much there. It wasn't much there to like really bring you in until the end when they challenged the Bucks.
Yeah.
That was the highlight of that match, them challenging the Bucks.
And it's like I've always said about FTR, like they don't know how to put people over. They only know if it's like an equal thing. Like if you know that you are responsible for putting another opponent over, they don't know how to do that. It's always been the other tag team that had to put them over in a way. And we kind of saw this in this match because, I mean, Lucha Brothers exposed that. So they
explain how Lucha Brothers exposed them.
No, exposed them not knowing how to put people over.
Yeah, why'd you say that?
Because I always pay attention to who has the more in-ring as far as tag team when it comes to tag teams. And during that whole reign or their whole rivalry, Penta is in that match longer than everybody. And then that's like, it goes into why they refuse to challenge the Acclaim. And I said it before, I said they scared of Anthony Bowens, especially Dax.
Interesting.
Yeah, so they pick and choose, you know, they do that shit. As much as they talk about people doing it, they do it themselves. So,
well, they're workers, not real. They're workers per se. Like they know how to work, they know how to do the moves, but they're not very charismatic.
They want to be Bret Hart so bad.
Yeah, but the thing about it, Bret Hart was charismatic in the ring with his moves, with the way he did things. What FTR lacks is that bit of charisma to put things over. Like they're gonna do a headlock perfectly, perfect position, footing's gonna be perfect, all that's gonna be perfect, but they don't got the juice. where they're gonna put that headlock in and gonna work it and make you like, oh man, this headlock is dangerous. It's like it's a headlock to them.
Yeah.
So
very
don't get me wrong, I like them because they know how to wrestle.
Right.
But they lack the juice. Like if you combine them and the Young Bucks, that's the best tag team of all time, and you know what I mean. But it's like to go with what we're talking about. The first match goes to Dynamite because it had the juice, and that's because and for me it was Garcia doing character work, Jericho being Jericho, the story within that match. So that was it, and the opener for Collision was an opener. That's what it was. It was setting up them to look good to challenge the Bucks.
Right. So if you in the chat, put your C's up or put your D's up so Graham can keep tally on who you thought was the card of that opener. Y'all know the rules. Okay, so moving on from that, on Dynamite, we had Jack Perry went face-to-face with Jerry Lynn. And then on Collision, you had Samoa Joe do the squash, and he challenges CM Punk to All In. Jack Perry, like I said, is growing on me. I like the Shakespeare, like it's Shakespeare's theater, what he's doing. As far as his music and the whole interest, I do just prefer him just have the hair down. It will work with the outfit. Have his hair down with the shades instead of like that. But then I get it too. He don't want the Tarzan image as well. So he's looking more like his dad. And like I said last week, I knew it was gonna be Rob Van Dam. I was just like, if it was going to bring back any ECW wrestler because they're doing this tribute to ECW, it's definitely RVD. And I said that last week, and it happened. You know, it was okay. It was pretty cool. But then key point, the little girl that Jack Perry fell on, we'll get into that because she showed up again. So I don't know what's going on, but it's no coincidence. Of course, Samoa Joe had a squash match against Serpentico. Shout out to him. And then challenges CM Punk to All In. I wasn't expecting that. Now, this is the one I wasn't really expecting, but it makes sense because the writer's block. So Samoa Joe needs something to do. But I wasn't expecting this because I thought something else was going to lead as far as CM Punk at All In. But maybe things could change. But at the same time, I'm for it, though. I like their little rivalry. What do you think?
Listen, Jackie Perry Boo, he cool. I see what he's doing. He need a little bit more grease in his hair, get more of a slick back look. I wasn't fucking with this moment. I'll be honest with you, Keeks. I wasn't fucking with this moment. I preferred Samoa Joe's moment. Okay. You know, Samoa's phenomenal on the mic. The squash match was perfectly done. It was, I'm gonna beat this guy's ass. I'm going to talk some smack. CM Punk, get your ass out of here because it's time to fight. I want a real fight. That's what it came off. It came up strong, somewhat predictable, but it got to the point.
Right.
Rob Van Dam, great, but I ain't sold on Perry. I know you sold, but I ain't sold. He still needs a lot more selling for me to buy in right now. But I want to see what Rob Van Dam can do in this match and what Perry does in this match. Because at the end of the day, it's still going to be a quality match because of RVD's like he's been wrestling for like damn near my whole life.
Yeah.
So his veteran stuff is gonna come through and help Jack Perry look great in this match. But the segment, nah.
Yeah, because it's not like Jack Perry's a bad wrestler. It's just the character. That's just always been it. So in the ring, he can go.
Yeah.
But I'm starting to get sold on it. I guess it just takes a little bit of time for everybody. You know, things have to get there. So
yeah, but don't get me wrong. I like the fact he's trying.
Mm-hmm.
It ain't hitting for me, but maybe down the line as he gets better at it, because you know he has Christian right there with him. Because you know Christian's I don't know why he's such an asshole. But he's going to teach him how to become a better heel.
Yeah.
As long as he listens. But Samoa Joe did his thing. Like, he literally came in. How long was that match? 2 minutes?
It was like 30 seconds.
Yeah, he came in, whooped his ass, and got on the mic. That's perfect.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so if you in the chat, put your D's and put your C's because these two wasn't too long, but yeah, it got straight to the point. But for Jack Perry, I think his All In, it ends with, I'm trying to see who it will eventually end with because it can't be RVD. And I know that they probably doing some type of ECW type of callback and All In, but I just don't know who it would end with. But technically, Christian was the ECW World Champion.
We respecting that reign?
Yes, we do. We are papers over here. Yes, we do. We do.
Okay.
Yes, we do. The WWE ECW. Yes, we do.
Okay. The which version of ECW? Okay, all right, no problem.
Yeah, we do. We still recognize it. Okay, so then after that, we had the Anything Goes match. Trent Beretta, John Moxley versus Penta, and then on Collision end, it was the World Trios Championship match. House of Black versus Lee Johnson, Andrade, and Darius Martin. Dynamite, the Anything Goes match, it was violent. It was brutal. I expected brutal and violent because it's Penta and it's Moxley. And, Penta does those Moxley type matches in Mexico anyway. And he gets real violent with it. And we saw all of that. And it was the right call to make to have Trent to take the win. Right call. We've been wanting Trent to get at least a win. We know he's the workhorse in the company, but we just wanted to win, and he got a win. Collision, of course, House of Black. They put them boys in the dirt, and then they're challenging CM FTR. So we're going to see not possibly, but we're going to see House of Black and FTR. What did you think of both match?
I don't like Moxley, but Penta held it down for me in that match. I preferred the House of Black match. Even though it was borderline a squash match, the House of Black they got me. I like them a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they're one of those factions that gets it. Like, they work well together. They're all in unison when it comes to their outfits. Mm-hmm. It makes sense when you see them. You know how some factions like, oh, okay, this is okay, they're a faction. When you see them, you're like, oh, this isn't made up. This is a faction, and they all believe in the devil.
Oh my God.
Like, they look like they all believe in the devil, and they never been to church. And they be praying and doing voodoo stuff and sacrificing stuff together. Like, this works. I know about the real life. This is kayfabe. I'm sold. I'm bought in. I'm buying this. Like, the stock is up with them. I'm buying this. So I like, even if it was a squash match, I like that. And then potentially them going against FTR, that's gonna be even better. Like, this is good. This is good stuff.
Why you don't like Moxley? What is your beef with Moxley? He hasn't proved to you.
I'm not a fan of Moxley. I respect Moxley, but I'm not a fan of him.
Okay, you respect him, y'all.
I respect him. Listen, the dude, he has won a championship all across the world. You can't deny that.
Mm-hmm.
We can't deny that. But I don't think he's a mega star like everybody else thinks he is. But he cool. He cool. He cool. Listen, what he did for AEW will go down in history as something amazing.
Yeah.
When CM Punk was acting up and Tony tapped that man on the shoulder and said, hey, you're not going on vacation. Get your ass.
And he's been here ever since.
So respect is due. But yes, Malik, it is the blood. It is the blood. It is the blood.
I was gonna ask that. I'm like, is it bleeding too much?
At first, it was like, because I'm such a Rollins fan, and I mess with Roman, that I always thought he was the third best. Like, he wasn't up to their level. And granted, WWE low-key messed them up. Not gonna hold you. They kind of, because it's like, I'll give you an example. Moxley's like DMX. Now imagine DMX at his prime doing pop music and not cursing. Exactly.
That would be awful.
Exactly. That was Moxley in WWE.
I mean, I respect it because you say you respect. I mean, it happened. Moxley is not everybody's favorite, but he's always been one of mine from the Shield. He was always my favorite from the Shield.
I always loved Rollins. I thought Rollins was the complete package.
Yeah, I thought that too. I've never thought Roman was the complete package. I always thought it was Seth.
Yeah, but I understand. Like every one of them, I understand why somebody would like Roman. He obviously is a face of a company. The dude is I was at Somerset with my niece. She's 15 years old. I ain't gonna lie, I felt some type of way because I was like, why are you talking like this? Because you're a little too young to be saying. She's like, Roman guy is so fine. Listen, I get it. Bitches love him. Niggas want to be him. I understand why he the face of the company. Rollins, I just love his work ethic, his moveset, his stuff on the mic.
Me who? We don't do that on here. I gotta cuss at him every show. Don't be rude to my guests now. We don't do that.
No. That's a great question. The flying. What does being a superstar have to do with anything? For me, superstar means somebody that can sell tickets, that can literally fill arenas up. That's a superstar.
Moxley do that.
Moxley's close to that.
In AEW, he does sell tickets.
I don't think he's a mega superstar. But you know what? I don't know. I don't know the numbers. You know the numbers better than me, Keeks. If the numbers saying that he's that superstar for AEW, then go ahead. Then you know what? It is.
That's why we call him the Ace.
But him after WWE is a different breed. Because he got to do what he wanted to do after WWE.
He's our Mick Foley, but that knows how to wrestle.
Yeah, Mick Foley was throwing his body around.
Yeah, that's why I say he's just a Mick Foley that could wrestle if he could.
I'm happy he's sober though. That's a beautiful.
Yes, that's more. That
takes a lot. Like I know I have some friends who are alcoholics, and yeah, it's a lot to do that, especially in where he's at.
Well, one thing about the Shield, they always said that they was going to be the face of wrestling, and they are.
Yup.
They are the faces of wrestling. Can't deny it. They didn't probably think it was going to be one in a different company. One has to have the heavyweight champion, and one can be champion anytime of the fucking day he want to be. They ain't think it this far, but they said it. They spoke it to existence. So
they deserve it. I read Moxley's book. Moxley definitely deserves what he got.
I love that book.
Yeah, that was a birthday gift. Great birthday gift. Actually, you know what's funny? A Christmas gift that year. So a birthday gift was last year was Moxley's book. The year before, my Christmas gift was the Bucks book. So people in my life like, oh, AEW stuff. Here, Wilkins.
Yeah. Okay, so make sure you in the chat put your D's or put your C's up for that. Also moving forward, on Dynamite, we had the MJF promo. And this is gonna be by itself because to keep intact, I like to keep things intact. Y'all know I like order. So Dynamite, we just gonna do Dynamite because it was just a promo. It was a long promo. It was a long segment between MJF and Adam Cole. They on some bestie shit. It's suspicious a little bit because, MJF granted Adam Cole to face him and All In. Adam Cole just signing shit. I don't know. So this is it's eager. It could go either way because I don't think it's going to end in two baby faces. Maybe they will do the Bret Hart and Owen Hart route with this. I'm not sure. But I don't know. It makes me nervous. What did you think? What do you think? Or you have any?
Listen, he's getting better at cutting these babyface promos.
Mm-hmm.
It took him a little bit to get to this point where he's at right now.
Yeah.
I don't know who helped him or he just
Adam Cole.
Evolving. Say that again.
Adam Cole.
Okay, so so it's getting better. I'm not fully convinced with him being a babyface, and maybe that's done for a particular reason because it makes me want to think that he might turn or something because it adds that suspicion to the whole thing. But this promo is one of his better promos in a while when it comes to being a babyface, quote unquote.
Yeah. Malik says, I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
Yeah, he says Adam Cole is going to hurt that boy. I've always theorized on here that Adam Cole is the one that's going to turn on him. Like, he's going to just be like, you're weak type shit, like how he used to do it in NXT.
Yeah.
Kind of manipulate them in a sense. I think that's what he's doing right here.
Well, I wouldn't be mad about it because your champ will be a babyface.
Mm-hmm.
And let's be real, like, yes, MJF is a heel, but he gets cheers. So him being a babyface wouldn't be an issue. He'd probably be like that anti-hero type of babyface after this feud. So it works. Even though he has been cooking for a few weeks. Yeah, like Andy, it's going to take a while, Andy, for him to get to that level, but it seems like it's getting better than what it was the few weeks before. You know what I mean, Andy? Like, it's something, there's something there, and it's more believable than it was before. So we'll see. But like I said, solid promo. We are slowly turning these ingredients to a pie that's a babyface pie. But it might not be a babyface pie. You might cut it in. It might taste a little tart and like, this is a heel pie. So we'll see. But it's a good way because AEW's biggest event of the year, well, technically sold out, is coming up soon. So we need some stuff to start rolling in. Yeah.
It's starting to pick up the pace, so maybe they will probably pick up the pace even more this week because, like I said, we got 3 weeks. So they have to start getting it cooking. They have 3 shows, so it's easy to follow suit. So it shouldn't be difficult. So we're not going to count too much on that one, y'all, because that's just a segment by itself. But we're going to get back to it on Dynamite again. We had the Elite. It was Kenny Omega, the Young Bucks versus Jeff Jarrett, Jay Lethal, and Signal. That's what I call him. That's his name. That's what he's going to be. And then on Collision, we had Mr. Collision himself, Jay White, versus Metallic. Now, if you don't know Metallic, he was in WWE Lucha House Party. And also he was in CMLL, but they couldn't work out the financial deal on their end. He wanted more money in CMLL. They just wouldn't offer it, so he's no longer there. So he's here, but I don't know if he's official. He hasn't been official yet, but AE Lucha is thriving. So we had these 2 segments. The trios match, it was fun. Like I said last week, this is just a match because we want to rest Kenny and the Young Bucks. They just did battle pool, the damn match, the cage match, and we don't want to keep injuring Kenny because he's been on the roll since he's been back. So just a little fun. And I want to say Jeff Jarrett took a buckshot lariat better than anybody I've seen in a while at his age.
Yeah, that match it is what it is on that one. For anybody that's watching and listening, I had talked very spicy about Jay White. I got my ass handed to me online about they weren't really doing anything with him. Now, the past since Collision started, basically, Jay White's been very, very busy.
The King.
With Bullet Club Gold. That's what it is, right? Bullet Club Gold. So he's been very busy with that. So I like what they're doing with him now. Because at first I was like, it was a big sign. It didn't feel like a big deal. Now that they have this show, you see a group emerging that might, in a couple of months or even a couple of weeks, might dominate Collision. After having one of the best tag team matches of in recent history, one of the best, you're seeing the growth of him as a character. He's still ain't that great on the mic, but it is what it is on that one.
Who?
Jay White. He's not that great. He's okay. You think he's good? Okay.
He's always been great on the mic. You don't like his accent?
And maybe it's the accent. Maybe I'm an ignorant American. That might be it. I might be an ignorant American on this one. My favorite accent is Southern accents.
Oh my God.
No, seriously. My favorite accent on anybody is a Southern accent. White, black, Asian, whatever you are. I don't care. I love that accent when people talk. So maybe because I'm such a New Yorker, and when I hear it, it's so delightful. Because Southern people are so mean, but so pleasant at the same time. Bless your heart, child. Bless your heart. But you just talk shit about me.
At least we're telling it to you. That's what's more important. Like, you see it's coming.
But I like what Jay White is doing right now with the Bullet Club Gold because it feels like a legit badass group. And what's his name? His partner. What's his name? The long hair. What's his name? Yes, when he came up with the cardboard cutout, I was like, oh, that's fire. That was hot. That was dope. I like that little touch that they're doing, that ignorant stuff that they're doing. So yeah. I like that one. So that match was my match between those two. Because like you said, the Elite match was like they just keeping them warm, keeping the joints warm, you get some reps in.
Yeah, because like I've been theorizing because, you know, Jay White is partially the reason why Adam Cole got injured. So I was just like, I don't know if they are choosing to not because they haven't been speaking since then. So I think it was a rumors was saying that, like, it's not a beef, but it's just one of those, like, you know, I don't know if you did that on purpose. I don't know if you wasn't being careful type shit.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. So, but being on Collision was the best move. Now, also in the G1 tournament, though, the Bullet Club over there has been shading Bullet Club Gold. So I don't know if we're going to see a civil war between those two. But Dave Finlay has been spicy towards Jay White during the G1 tournament on the promos and stuff like that. So maybe that's what we're going to end up getting because I don't see them having All In without Jay White being part of it. So I think that's what it's leading to. So if you're following New Japan and G1, we know that Dave Finlay has been talking, you know, he's been shading them. So never know, we might see that. So I wouldn't be surprised if they end up showing up like 2 weeks before. Because it's around ending time for the tournament anyway. So, yeah. If you're in the chat, put your D's and put your C's on which is which one you want. Civil War Part 2. Oh, yeah. Civil War Part 2. Yeah.
What do you drink?
Long Island iced tea. Texas. I'm a Texas girl. We drink it like Kool-Aid. That
was my the drink of choice when I would get a girl a drink when I was in the club scene. Long Island iced tea for her over there.
Yeah. It's smooth. It's still sweet. It's not too strong. It also depends on the bartender too if they know how to do it. And also let's move forward on Dynamite. Now it wasn't the main card because the main card is Women Bidness, which we will get into. So we're gonna do the Dynamite, the ROH Tag Team Championship match. Aussie, oi, versus Vikingo and Commander. Those two have been tag teams down there in AAA. So the shit was amazing. Great ROH Tag Team Championship. I love Aussie Open. Y'all know I'm a luchador stan. And then also on Collision, we had the main event, CM Punk. They was fighting for the real championship. It was CM Punk versus Ricky Starks. Ricky Starks is still pissing people off. I hate seeing my Ricky Steamboat like that. But yeah, so what did you think about either or?
First things, Viking Kingo, if that's the way you say it, shout out to him for going viral like every week.
Mm-hmm.
Because my friends send me a clip about him every other week. Yo, who is this guy? I was like, he's with AEW, blah, blah, blah. A fun match. It was a Dragon Ball Z match. That's what I like to call those matches. It was pow, 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 flip, flip, flip. It was fun. Like, those matches, you turn your brain off and then you go into let's just watch it and enjoy. I think sometimes, especially like old school wrestling fans, we get too caught up with like, oh my God, what are they trying to tell us that they're not? No, shut up. It's Dragon Ball Z. Enjoy this shit. These are talented motherfuckers who are doing fancy ass shit. That's like I go into those matches with that mentality.
Yeah.
Before I did it, don't get me wrong, but those matches, it's a Dragon Ball Z match. This is Goku versus Vegeta. This is Goku versus Majin Buu. Like they're gonna do some flips. They're gonna go back and forth, bong bong bong, and then we get a winner. That is it. I wasn't a fan of the Ricky Starks and CM Punk match. Just keeping it a buck. I didn't like the pace of it. I don't know whose fault it was. I was not a fan at all. And this is no slight to CM Punk because y'all already know how I feel about Phil Brooks, but something seemed a little off about it. I did not like it. It seemed a little too slow. I felt like they weren't in sync with a couple of stuff.
Mm-mm.
It felt like, and I don't know if it was Phil's fault or if it was Ricky, because when you wrestle somebody, you got to keep the same pace.
Yeah.
And I don't know who was trying to. It wasn't good. It wasn't good. It wasn't to the level of what Ricky and CM Punk could do. And I'm still confused about this title thing. I'm not gonna hold you. I watched it the week before. And I'm still confused of what's going on. So can you explain to me this whole title situation?
It's kind of like a callback to the NWO when Hulk Hogan declared himself because he never been pinned. Yeah. Recently, Eric Bischoff said that CM Punk is the worst thing since Hulk Hogan. So that's why CM Punk is doing that. He did the same shit Hulk Hogan just did. So it's just an
What? He said that? Eric said that? Hold on.
You know, Eric Bischoff is still kind of bitter since Tony didn't give him that job. So it's just been everything that he's doing, especially CM Punk.
But let's rewind. Eric can't say that.
Exactly.
Eric was on Hogan's dick. Hard body. Hogan and Eric destroyed Impact, low key. We ain't gonna talk. Let's talk about that.
Just low key, high key, they did.
That's high key, bro.
That was very high key. They did destroy it.
Straight destroyed. They did it together. They were a tag team and destroyed Impact.
It was a group project.
Yes, it was a group project. Also, the way Eric gave Hogan everything when he was in WCW, like, it was crazy when his contracts had, like, he can get merch sales from everybody's merch and the gate. So, if you're going to say that he is the worst thing to happen to wrestling since Hogan, Eric, you're part of that. You're part of that. You're a major part of that destruction. Like, what are you talking about? I did not know he said that. I did not know he said that. What?
Yeah, he said that. He said he's the worst thing since Hulk Hogan. That's what he said. And so he came up with the idea, okay, since he said that, I'm going to just do it. And, you know, Ricky Starks, he's been on this Randy Orton legend killer shit. First, he disrespected Jushin Liger by just snatching the damn trophy from him. And then he wanted to spank Ricky Steamboat.
I like that. I just didn't like the match.
Yeah, I want to agree with you on the match. I'm sorry, not to cut you off, but I do agree with you. But I'm blaming Phil for this match. And like I've been saying, he needs tag team matches because he's not cutting it solo. He's long-winded with it. He's still not ready for it. He's good in tag team matches. He's not good in solo matches.
What people don't understand is, and I'm not giving him any, like, I'm not shooting him any bail on this. A wrestling match, even for 10 minutes, that shit feels like 30 minutes. Oh my God. If you're not conditioned, you feel like you going through hell. My first match, and when I fought, I don't mean to put this on myself, but I'm just going to give you an example. It was maybe a 10-minute match, the most. We got halfway through. I put him had him in a hold. I said, "Nigga, I am tired. I am tired." Now, CM Punk, who hasn't gotten reps like that, who wrestles, what does he wrestle? Like once a week, and then he goes back to his couch in Chicago. It's just hard. This shit is hard. So you 100. He probably needs to ease back into these singles matches because he don't have to win yet. Mm-hmm. So that's a great point. That's a great point. I want people to take note of that because people don't understand the kind of condition you have to be in those type of matches, even if it's 10 minutes.
That's why Omega does the matches he does to stay in condition, to stay in shape. Him and the Young Bucks.
Well, they're a different breed. Especially Keeks.
Yeah, so I'm not gonna blame Ricky Starks for this match because Ricky Starks tried. It's more a feel being a vet. You know, even Mago at his age, he knows his position still. Like he knows how to still. I'm not gonna do too much, but I'm gonna make sure that your moves look solid. I'm gonna make sure this is in position. He still struggles with that because he's tired.
But I also think it might just be old age. It might just be like, yo, I lost a step, which is okay. So you gotta adjust at this point. It's like any athlete, they know that there's gonna come to a point where my athleticism is not gonna be something I can go to anymore. It's gonna be my skill. So maybe that's what CM Punk just has to do moving forward, is adjust to more of a skill-based type of work. And because what it was for me, watching the match, he didn't give Ricky the lead.
Nope. And
the problem with that is the fact that Ricky was playing the heel in the match for the most part. That's what Ricky was. So people, let's break it down. Usually in a match of that nature, the heel takes the lead. So CM Punk now that we're talking about it, and I'm thinking through this and I'm remembering the match, CM Punk shouldn't be tired because I'm giving the lead to the heel because the heel really works the match.
Mm-hmm.
And there was points in the matches where he wasn't letting him lead because all he had to do was just, yo, what you want to do? Okay, cool. We're going to do this. Whisper something in his ear. All right, we're going to do that. What, like that? Because that's what you're supposed to do as a vet. Like, it would have been a much better match if he let Ricky lead the match as the heel.
And even though... Oh, go ahead.
No, you're fine. You're fine. That's all I had to say. It would have looked better if he let Ricky take the lead on that match because he's playing the heel.
Exactly. And to add to your example, if you need further proof of that what he's saying does work, even though people didn't too much like the story in within him versus Chris Jericho, but Chris Jericho being the heel, it was a little bit on the flip side, but Chris Jericho was allowing him to lead, but Jericho was leading most of the time at his age. So if you want to look back, you can look back at the Chris Jericho and Ricky Starks match to see what he's actually talking about. Because you're going to see Chris Jericho work more because people was complaining like Jericho's carrying this match. And I'm like, no, Jericho's doing what he's supposed to do.
Some people don't understand that that's how it's supposed to be because what it's supposed to be, the mindset is the heel's beating you up. Like American wrestling is basically the hero comes from the bottom and then, oh my God, he wins the match.
Yeah.
That's what it is. And that's why some people don't like American wrestling so much because of that type of dynamic where it's beat up the face so you can feel sorry for the face, get that emotional pop for him when he comes back and does his comeback and then he gets cut off and all this other stuff. So are we pulling the curtain too much on this or are we good?
No, we good.
Okay. So that's the whole thing. And that's what Jericho knows how to do the job.
Yeah.
Jericho, at the end of the day, to keep it lame term, he knew the assignment.
Yeah. And Bianca Belair is great at doing that. Another example, she's great at doing that. Like, she's getting beat up. She's doing her job. She knows how to sell it. That's what you're supposed to do. And you're right, because that's what was lacking in this match. He just, I don't know, CM Punk sometimes get in his own head. He gets in his own head about things, and I know that he knows that he's a vet, but you don't have to be a pushover with it either, because you can kind of see that too. Like, follow me. I've been here for years. I know. He gives me those vibes.
It's rough because when you're new, somebody like Ricky, who's new to the business, relative, but not new, but he's not at that level of CM Punk. You just listen.
Yeah.
You listen because you don't want to be blackballed low key, not get a match for the rest of the time that you're there. And you know how wrestling is. It's all political.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody don't like you. Next thing you know, you ain't got no match for 6 months.
You wrestling Ricochet or somebody. I don't know. But so if you in the chat, put your C's and put your D's up. Rampage. Now I don't go into depth into Rampage. I just skim through the matches to let people know who won and who lost. Okay. So on Rampage, you had Hardy's Keith Lee versus Kip Sabian, Butcher and Blade. Hardy's and Keith Lee took the win on that. Okay. Moving on. Mongol Embassy had a squash match, just displaying their whole, the tag between him and AR Fox. Just letting it be known that they out there. They probably going to be most likely in the tag division. They win. They squash them boys. Moving on. Into the main event now, the parking lot brawl, the parking lot match between the Best Friends and BCC, very, very brutal. I like brutality. I like Moxley bleeding. Shout out to Orange Cassidy. I'm looking forward to Orange Cassidy versus Moxley because it was supposed to happen, but it didn't happen because he checked himself into rehab. And we were supposed to get it, and we never did get it. Everybody's looking forward to it at that point, but we're starting to get it back. So that's what we're going to get it all in, most likely. Shout out to Mama Susan. She pulled up in her van with Orange Cassidy and stuff like that. Very fun match. And that was Rampage. Yeah, that's it. I don't get into the Rampage unless I have to. Yeah. All right, so let's get into women business. Graham, put my video on for women business, please.
This is what you need to do. You need to stay out of women business.
Yeah. So if you a man, you raise your hand if you got something to say, okay? All right, so we're gonna get into women business. So on Dynamite main event, it was the AEW Women's Championship match. Sheeta, say the baby, please say the baby. Why he Sheeta, baby, please say the baby. Versus Toni Storm. We have a new AEW Women's Championship, and that confirms in my mind that Kenny Omega is back on the pin when it comes to the women division. That was all I needed to know. Graham, where's the picture? Okay, there you go. Yeah, so a great match between the two, Toni Storm and Sheeta. Shout out to Joshi Wrestling. Phenomenal. Look at Larry, I pulled up just in time. Yes, Sheeta F. Baby. Please say the baby. She is the two-time AEW Women's World Champion. So we got our ace back of the division. Also, let me get on to Collision. Collision, it was for the TBS Women's Championship. You have Chris Straplander versus Mercedes Martinez. Another great, phenomenal women's match. Of course, I know it was during SummerSlam. I was watching both, but I'll rewatch Chris Statlander and Mercedes match yesterday. Still, it was a phenomenal match between the two. Chris Statlander is a workhorse. She wants to bring the prestige back for the TBS Women's Championship. When she's doing an amazing job, she's beating these girls up, taking names, and like I keep saying, she is becoming a monster with each defeat. Like her confidence, I'm not saying cockiness, but you kind of seeing it. And then some things happened in this match. Diamante came out because Mercedes attacked her. Diamante came out. she helped Chris, but then she ended up beating Chris' ass. So Diamante is paired up with Mercedes Martinez, and then of course Willow came out to the rescue. And my theory, I feel like Athena sent both Mercedes and Diamante for Chris Statlander because, like we said in the media scrum, she did hinted that she wants a sister for her ROH Women's Championship. So it might be, you know what I'm saying? She might end up showing up. We don't know, but I feel like that's what's happening right now for Chris Statlander. I feel like it's going to set up her versus Athena. Athena is sending them on her. So moving on to Rampage, we did have Anna Jay versus Sky Blue. Y'all was thirsty. Y'all was nasty. I saw those comments. Y'all should be ashamed of yourselves just looking at their booties. They was, somebody was calling it the ass down or something. I was just seeing a whole bunch of stuff. Anna Jay is improving a lot. And Sky Blue, she is getting there too. They both are improving. Of course, the men were seated for the wrong reasons. Cameraman don't make it no better. Y'all just some thirsty males up in here. They can't even, we know that they thick. We get it, okay? Y'all don't have to do all of that. But if you're into sexiness, I'm pretty sure y'all enjoyed this match. Because you could always have a blend of the hardcore women's and then also the women that keep it sexy and stuff like that. Because women come in all variations. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah. So, and of course, we know the topic was the topic, but I'm not going to dwell too much on it. But I want to get my point across. I firmly believe we know what it was, what was talked about. I said what I said on Twitter. Pretty much everybody said what they said, but I want to just say that I feel like, and it's only fair, that Britt Baker should endure the same punishments as CM Punk and also the Elite because she is the root of all of it. And since we're going to start in this new direction for the women's division, you need to hold her accountable for her actions. I'm still standing on that. I never changed. Everybody knows I was on Thunder Rosa's side from the start because I know for a fact Thunder Rosa is not going to sandbag on purpose. It has to be a reason. She is slick a luchadora, and I'm going to go back into that. We know how luchadors are. I'll take it even back to Impact. When Faye Apache faced what's her double chin? Multiple chin. Y'all know Tessa. Yeah, Tessa. When she faced Tessa, it was some politics going on in the back with Fabi Apache. So Fabi Apache took it upon herself in the ring. She sandbagged, and when she was done, she spit on Tessa Blanchard and told her, "Don't you come to Mexico." And she ain't wrestled in Mexico since. So Thunder Rosa works the same way. So I was like, it's something going on. I've been saying since last year. So I'm like, Thunder Rosa, why she wrestling with a chip on her shoulder? Something's going on. So hold on. I'm not done yet. Hold on. Okay. I ain't done yet. So Britt Baker needs to be held accountable for her actions. And like I said last week, she needs to just sit out. I want her to be gone. At least let her be let her have some, how to treat people classes, because we know cliques happen in the locker rooms. There's cliques everywhere. It's gonna be mean girls. You're not gonna get along with everybody. You're not gonna be friends with people you work with. I'm not friends with people I work with. I get it, but you are grown, and when it's time to be grown and when it's time to handle your business, you need to put that shit to the side and work. So that's my 2 cents. Now you can talk. What did you have to say?
I just want to know what would be the best thing for Tony to do in this situation. Now, I'm not saying if this is true or not, but what you're saying is that she's the root of all of what's going on. So how should Tony approach the situation with not, I don't know, blowing the whole situation up?
Yes. Since Britt Baker is the face of the AEW women's division, that's no lie. If you're going to be a leader, you have to learn to fall as a leader too. When you fuck up, you have to learn to take the disciplinary. Like, you have to. In order for you to be a lead, you have to know how to lead. If my leader don't know how to take a punch, that's like when the elite had to be suspended. Did you see any of them online bitching about it? No, they didn't. They took that L as men. They took that L as leaders. They did what they're supposed to do. CM Punk, you know, he threw his shade. He's going to do what he do. But we expected that out of CM Punk. That's just who he is. But all elites, we don't expect that from the elite because you're our leaders. Britt Baker, you are a leader. If you consider yourself a leader, you have to learn how to fall. Like, you have to learn how to take those hits. Stone Cold had to do it. The Rock had to do it. Shawn Michaels had to do it. Eventually, you know, he eventually had to do it. You have to do it. You have to take that fall. You have to, you know, put yourself in the back like, okay, since I am the problem, I'm going to step aside so I can get myself together so y'all can excel. If you care about the women's division and you want them to excel, you need to take accountability for your actions in your place in all of this. Because all of this shit is centered with you. It's not centered with nobody else but you. Because, you know, you're flying too close to the sun. And somebody's allowing you to fly too close to the sun because he don't want to lose you. But you better, it's time to go to the back. It's time to fall to the back. Because another example I want to make, when Taya Valkyrie was getting body shamed and all of that other stuff, I did not see one tweet from you to defend her. It's shit like that. It's shit like that.
But maybe she isn't a leader. Maybe because you mentioned something. It's about improving, as you know, understanding where you're wrong and when you gotta take that fault. And also being a leader is also, you gotta serve your people. Because they always say if you're a true boss, you eat last.
Yeah.
I don't think she's there yet. Like, I don't think maybe she's not capable of that. And this is gonna be a real growing pains for the next couple of months to a year to see what direction they go. Because that's why I asked you what's the best way to deal with her, because she's the face of their division, technically speaking, with or without the title, which is crazy to me. And it's gonna be a rough thing because I'm scared. I think he's scared of her, and he doesn't want to lose somebody that he likes a lot. Maybe as a friend. Maybe that's his home girl as well. So yeah, it's a good conversation piece, because it's like, what do you do with somebody that's your friend but also your employee? Yeah,
we've all dealt with something like that to an extent. You know what I'm saying? Friends and businesses aside. But AEW Women's Division is set with some great champions, so it's just time to start to build around them. We have now Sheeta, we have now Chris Statlander, and we have Athena as the ROH Championship, which they have been including ROH in Collision and also Rampage and a little bit of Dynamite. So it's time to start building around them and not solely depend on Britt Baker right now, because, you know, it's been drama for no reason. It took, like, that whole shit took away from Sheeta's celebration. You know what I'm saying? Like, that shit took away from her moment. And we don't need nothing like that right now, okay? So, hold Britt Baker accountable. But the AEW Women's Division is off to a great start with Sheeta, and that's why I think Kenny is probably back with the pin when it comes to the Women's Division, because she is the champion. They can go in the direction that they need to go. Yes.
So what do you want to see from the AEW's Women's Division?
Nothing. I am an in-ring person, more on I'm not really, I can do with promos and the entertainment, but only for so much. But I'm with the in-ring. They are getting the time. I have, we all want more than one on the card, but that comes with, they have to pull through in order for them to have more than one, because we did have more than one and it was just always the lowest, and the network just like, y'all don't, the fans don't support it, so we just gonna put just one on her.
Okay. So more time and more opportunities, basically.
No, I just want them to stop centering it around Britt Baker, because in-ring wise, she's not it. And she's getting left behind, because now we actually have real good AEW women workers. and she's getting lost in the shuffle. It happened again last week with Taya Valkyrie, and we know that wasn't Taya Valkyrie's fault. She's a vet. And then also the week prior, it was just like, you're not, for you to be the face, you show is sucky.
She's giving me an upgraded version of Sable.
Wow. More Sky Blue and more Anna J. Who else? Get y'all nasty ass on. I know you nasty. Get y'all nasty ass. So yes, that's women business for today. And so, like the news said, the Elite end up re-signing Adam Page, Kenny Omega, the Young Bucks. The Young Bucks are now the richest tag team wrestlers in history of wrestling. Signed a major contract. They didn't go into details what it was. It was a lot of, they have granted some things. That's why I'm like, okay, Kenny must got the women's division back with it. And yeah, so the Elite is back, baby. You can't have AEW without the Elite. They are the heart and soul of the Elite. And then, of course, they had the 200th celebration of Dynamite. And then after Dynamite aired, Chris Jericho had a speech. Tony Khan spoke. MJF spoke. And like I said, of course, without the Elite, it wouldn't be AEW. Then, of course, if it wasn't for Chris Jericho agreeing to be part of it, they wouldn't have got that TNT deal. So it all works out. They here now. It'll be almost 5 years coming January of AEW, which is crazy.
That is crazy. 5 years, bro.
We saw a company start, and hopefully they don't end because it's very fun. Like, you said an interesting tweet the other day. You said, y'all might hate me for this, but when it's another company, it makes WWE good. And I've always been saying that. I'm like, the executive war makes wrestling good.
No, it's like, let's keep it a buck. 5 years ago, was it 5 years ago? Remember that time on Raw when the McMahon and the McMahons came out and Triple H came out and they said, we're gonna make things better. We're gonna listen to you guys and we're gonna do a lot better, and nothing got better. Then 2 years into the Elite being around, because at first when AEW came around, they weren't worried about it. And to be honest, they don't 100% need to be worried, but they need to be worried.
Mm-hmm.
So I think I remember this Survivor Series. It was the one with when Big E was a champion. Barclays Center. The Raw after Survivor Series. I was there. It was because Survivor Series is around my birthday.
Mm-hmm.
I go to Barclays Center. Barclays Center in New York, Brooklyn, New York, that is, usually always sold out for WWE events. Bruh. Empty seats in that arena. And now you're seeing record numbers, WWE, record numbers. It's because of all of AEW. They realize, like, there's a potential we could lose a chunk of our fan base to these guys, so we got to step it up. We got to change things up. We got to go to, and they started going to different markets.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they're doing Payback in Pittsburgh. When the last time they were in Pittsburgh? What the fuck? For a pay-per-view? And then we just did SummerSlam in Detroit. Like, they're selling out because they're doing things differently. And they're not dumb. There's a reason why they got these contracts with these places where it's like, I have a show here. AEW can't have a show in a month here.
Yeah, okay.
Competition makes things better.
Mm-hmm.
And we all know they don't really hate each other. They all talk to each other. They all do their thing.
Oh, Heyman loves AEW.
Yeah, but we also realize that it's money. Like,
yeah.
Over here, we gotta step it up. Like, and with the writers' strike, it's gonna be live sports and professional wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
That's gonna be on TV for the next 6 months, as long as it's maybe even longer. Because this is what it is, and we're gonna have to put out a quality product. So I always said this. I want AEW to succeed because it's better for WWE. I have friends on the independent scene, so it gives them chances to potentially sign a contract. It's easier to sign a contract with AEW because Tony's more engulfed in the independent scene. So it's a whole lot better. And let's say AEW doesn't work out, you can go to WWE because you got to polish a little bit in AEW. They saw you, what you did there. Oh, come over to WWE. Like Brian Pillman, what the hell do you think he's doing?
I think that, and plus his name too.
Of course. That's a major factor. But he got some run. Now he's going to potentially going to NXT. Like this is great for the ecosystem. You think Impact don't got to rub off of that too? Like this is all
they going to the UK.
Exactly. Like let's we all gonna eat together. Everybody eats. B. This is paid in full. We're all gonna get fat off each other, regardless if we like it or not. I love this. This is why I watch wrestling. This is for different tastes. Hit my taste buds in different ways. I want just wrestling. I'm gonna watch AEW. I remember Will said something on the show that I did with. He was a guest on the show that I did. He said a live event for AEW is great, but if I'm at home and I'm watching TV, WWE is more of a TV show. So whatever you like, you get it. And this is good. I love this shit.
Like WWE fucking brought out John Cena to announce a possibility of WrestleMania in the UK. They ain't been in the UK in a minute.
Bro, it's because of you guys, AEW. Oh shit, we gotta get to the UK. Like this is all. Come on, son. This is good. This is what we need.
This wrestling ain't been this fun in a long time. Like we had to deal with fucking the trenches. Like I keep reminding them, y'all want to go back to when fucking what's the name was world champion? What's his name?
There's many people. Sheamus.
You ain't like Sheamus, Brian?
I did not like Sheamus run. I'm probably one of the few people that did not like Sheamus run. I've never thought Sheamus was a main eventer. He's cool. He's great. But I ain't a fan of Sheamus.
Thank you, Jack Swagger. We'll go back to the Jack Swagger days.
Oh, that's even worse.
So I am enjoying it.
Listen, Mr. Brown, I fucked with Jinder. I ain't gonna hold you. I fucked with Jinder. He was not good, but I fucked with Jinder.
Jinder Mahal's not bad though. That's the thing. It's not bad. They just can't. He's not bad, and he's not. He has. I don't know. They just missed the mark with Jinder Mahal because he's not bad. They force fed us Jinder because they wanted the Indian market. Yeah.
So it wasn't done the right way. I get what you're saying. Where like he is talented. He does have the look, so it works, but they didn't maneuver it the way that it was digestible. It was like forced down our throats, pause. He's our champion. And you're like, what's going on here? Because they wanted that Indian market, which I understand because there's a ton of people in India.
Yeah,
like, you probably got Indian listeners, because I know we do. Like where you coming from?
Yeah, because we could go back to when Rey Mysterio was number 30 on Royal Rumble.
Listen,
we could go into the trenches.
Or we could go back to when Al Sharpton was guest starring on Raw, and he was promoting about his programs and stuff. Like we can go back to that time. Like good things that happened during that era, but there was some dark times of some stuff where you're like, what?
Yeah.
Like, what are we doing? Like, I would think it was a little bit the second half of Cena's reign when it was like, what are we doing right now?
Yeah.
It was like something needs to change. But now we're getting a quality product. Like, say what you want to say about SummerSlam. It wasn't that great, but it was better than SummerSlam during that dark times.
It was better than SummerSlam last year.
Yeah.
The main event fucking put me to sleep for some reason. I'm like, I don't know what is going on.
This one was just long. You put out a tweet. You was like,
y'all ain't used to that. Yeah. Y'all ain't used to that.
Oh. Yo.
They got real wrestling this SummerSlam. Y'all ain't used to it.
I was at the arena. Everybody was like, yo, why is this so long? Why is this so long? I was like, because we all thought we were going to be out by 11 the latest. Nah, it was almost midnight when we left that arena.
They gave y'all some. It was like I said, when I was looking at SummerSlam, that Battle Royal, if they focused on it, it was some this SummerSlam was probably the most in-ring storytelling WWE did in a while.
Oh, 100%.
It was a lot of in-ring shit going on that, especially with that Battle Royal, that they can use. I was just like, if they just use the engine that they put in that bloodline shit onto the bread and butter with the mid-card, it will be something. But
that's honestly all WWE is really missing right now.
Mm-hmm.
A little more juice in the mid-card.
Put Paul Heyman back on the booking.
He ain't got time for that.
Yeah, I know.
First of all, they have to pay him more. They ain't gonna try to pay him more. They kind of low key cheap.
Yeah, because people was amazed when I said that Penta is the richest luchador, and everybody thought it was Rey Mysterio. I'm like, no, he could pay more, and he's a businessman.
Who'd you say?
Penta.
I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised. I saw his outfit on when he came to House of Glory, and I was like, oh, this.
No, his house. I'm like.
But he's been wrestling longer. No, not as long as Ray, right?
No, he's been wrestling because Baby Apache trained him and his brother. Okay. They've been wrestling since I want to say 2009, 2008, somewhere in there. But yeah, they have that. Of course, the 2 stores. They have the 3 stores in Mexico. So yeah, he's wrestling for fun. That's what's crazy.
Does he live in Mexico or he lives in the States?
No, he lives in the States. He lives in LA.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They stay in LA. And he trains his daughter. So we won't be surprised if we see Lady Penta. I'm gonna feel real old at that point. I'm like, damn, we saw your daddy. We saw your daddy solidify your name. That's crazy.
Yeah, he has, man.
We saw that shit.
he has, and I think he gets to do what he wants outside of AEW too.
Yeah, he might be joining his brother, leaving AAA too, though.
Why is somebody leaving AAA for?
It's Conan. It's like I've been saying. Picture your top stars at WWE just end up leaving. That's what's happening at AAA. They keep.
Yeah, I've been seeing some stuff what's going on over there.
It's Conan.
He's not booking right. He's not listening.
Since he's been there, he hasn't booked right. He thinks that Trips is going to call him for a job. That shit is not happening. They used the fuck out of you to get Dragon Lee. And they got Dragon Lee without his daddy, and that shit pissed them off. That's why Roosh and them destroyed what they did. They went out with a bang. Fuck that shit up and left.
Roosh just signed that contract with AEW, man.
Yeah, he did.
And I like it. Yes, I'm not always for what Khan does, like Tony Khan does, but dogs, he's giving these people contracts outside of WWE.
What you about to say, Graham?
Oh, sorry, guys.
Never mind. I actually, I think I asked you that question already. I'm chill. My bad.
What?
Just about the Dragon Lee and the Roosh, the whole family thing. Anybody looking at Dragon Lee sideways for signing the deal without his daddy being there? So it's you just a gullible little nigga. I'm confused about why. You know what I'm saying? Why they would be oh, we just mad at WWE. Nobody's I don't understand who's upset or why they would be upset because he signed a deal with WWE.
I don't think his dad was never upset with him signing with WWE. It was about signing without him because he reads their contract. He's like their manager type shit. So Conan did it without him. He snuck and did that shit thinking that he was going to get a job at WWE, and he got used just like Bobby Fish did.
But Conan snuck and did what part?
The negotiations. Like, he sent over like the contract, AAA's contract to releasing Dragon Lee, basically to them without his father being present. So basically, because Dragon Lee doesn't speak, he's getting better with his English, but at that time, they're not contract fluent. Like they have to have somebody.
So
that's
like
why
Conan pawned this nigga off. Like, does Dragon Lee feel a way about that? Because I'm confused. Like, I don't get that.
But Dragon Lee looks at it like, I'm young, because he is young, and it was like, I just got options. I can do it here. I could just say I was at WWE. It makes my stature up top, which it does when they go back home and wrestle. So that's how he was looking at it, as like, okay, I could just wrestle for WWE for a good 5 years. If I like it, I stay. If they want me to stay, I'll stay. It's fine. They're not mad at him. So
okay, cool.
That's how they look at it. Because they never was upset at him for doing it. They was upset at how it happened.
Okay. So Conan basically, they sent Conan the contract and Conan basically got the little dude to sign.
Yeah. He got him to sign it because Conan he's been wanting a job at WWE for years. He wants to be what Alex is to the luchadors at AEW. He wants that job so bad.
So I have a question for you. You mentioned how they use Bobby Fish. What do you mean by that?
Well, the re-signing of Adam Cole. Well, no, not. It has something to do with Adam Cole, trying to get Adam Cole back to WWE. And Bobby Fish ended up leaving AEW. And Bobby Fish was acting like he was going back to WWE just for them to not, Trips be like, what I promised you, I lied.
Oh. Damn.
I've always said Triple H could sell water to a whale. He's always good at saying shit and conniving shit. He's been doing it for years. So I'm just like, how did he fall for that shit? He don't really like him like that.
Yeah, man. Triple H likes who he likes. I will.
Yeah, he likes who he likes. So they was trying to get Adam Cole back, but no. Britt Baker was like, I want my man here.
And he ain't denying that. I work. What is it? I work 4 days out the month, maybe 5 days. And I go home the rest of the time. Like it's a good ass living, bro.
Yeah, what Lyric was saying, and then the whole William Regal shit. That's another shit too, because we know William Regal was playing the game because that's Tripp's boy, trying to go out there and scout talent for him while he's working there.
Damn. I love this.
That's what I'm saying. You ain't low.
I like this though. I like this double crossing. You go over here. This is like real sports. Mm-hmm. Like you go over here, or I'm gonna sign over here, but nah, I'm not gonna sign over here. I'm gonna go over here. This is great. This is why we need competition, because you know what? Also, it gives more money out.
Yeah.
And then the next generation, you got to pay them more. All that money WWE's making, they got to call for somebody to these wrestlers.
Exactly. That is one thing, as Vince McMahon says, why he respects Tony Khan, because Tony Khan is not a bitch. Like, he was just like, he has balls. Vince McMahon do not like cowards. He hates cowards.
Yeah.
We know he hates cowards. So for him to even have the guts to tell Eric Bischoff, and Vince do not like Eric Bischoff whatsoever, but Tony Khan had the guts to say, I'm not trying to be like you. I'm trying to be the man that beat you.
Yeah.
And that fucked with his soul since. And he's been shitting on AEW ever since. He was like, fuck that. He loves Paul Heyman, and he respects what Vince McMahon's done with the wrestling business. That's it.
Yeah, which is fine.
And he said that Paul Heyman was a better booker than you. He just didn't have the budget. And that's true. Everybody knows that's true.
No, 100%. 100%.
So, yeah. That's all that
know that. The one thing I give Vince, he knows a superstar when he sees him. That's the one thing I give him. Like 80% of the time, and it's 8 out of 10. He knows a superstar when he sees him. He'll mess up because he doesn't know how to book 100% the right way sometimes, because his booking hasn't evolved over the times. It's still stuck in 95, 96.
And as you can see with the topic that's going on, that, like I said, Attitude Era still has a strong chokehold on pop culture. Like, it's always going to be the Attitude Era, okay? So, Graham, you did the tallies. Who takes up the card of the week? Is it Dynamite or is it Collision? Dynamite is leading 4-2. So, what did the live chat vote on for today?
Let's take a look. Wow. Dynamite takes the win again this week. Collision got one point.
Damn.
This is the lowest score for Collision the entire time we've been doing this. Yeah.
5-2. See, we like I said, Dynamite is a chapter book. Collision is a picture book. And that's okay. It works for everybody. So Dynamite takes the win. So before we get out of here, Wilkins, do you have any type of shout out, any stands, anything?
Shout outs to you guys for having me on. I really enjoyed myself. This was fun. Shout outs to Jobber Tears. We did our thing a couple weeks ago for Jobber Slam. Shout outs to us. And thank you for having me on. I had a good time. This was fun. It was different. It was like it was funky. It was cool. I expected something different, but this is good. This is good. I like what y'all doing here. I feel like I'm part of something.
Oh my God!
Look, I was on the team, so I was like, oh shit. Yeah.
No.
When Kiki sent me that rundown, I said, oh, this is what we working. Let me take some notes.
I am a mom. You know, I'm super organized. I'm a mom. I'm a freak out if things I have to. Things intact. I fuss at Graham. Graham, do you have this picture? Do you have this? But thank you. I just like to get to the point. We get to the point here, and because AEW got a lot of shows, and I'm not. If you want in depth, you got other outlets. You got Grab Sody. You got Purist and all of them. We just get to the point here. We get here and we get go. That's what we do. We get here, we get go. That's my motto.
You guys have something really good here. I'm really proud of you, Keeks, for pushing through the sea of haters.
Yeah.
And swimming through all of this and continue building your brand. I remember first seeing you online, and look where you are now. You're doing your thing. Shout out to Public Enemy. Y'all crushing it too. So it's a beautiful thing, especially people that look like, me doing their thing. I appreciate y'all.
You said looking like me. So all the black people, make sure you got your lawn chairs. Make sure you got your chairs. That's the new weapon. It's crazy that the chair sales went up since. People been booking to go to the Marriott in Alabama now.
Really?
Yes. But the good thing is warrants out for the arrest has been out. The mayor Slick is siding with the black folk. So
okay, good. Because
yeah,
I was hoping, besides the dude that hit the people with the chair, I was hoping black folks didn't get in trouble. Yeah,
the dude that was in the chair, he probably the only one that does have to do a little bit of time for that, because that is assault with a deadly weapon.
That shit was wild. The thing about it, he was swinging that thing like woof woof.
At first, I'm like, what the lady do to you now? I know she needed her ass being when she was getting it, but he just looked at her and just hit her ass too.
I remember I got into a situation at Legends once. So we had the viewing party on one floor, and then like Legends booked a party on the floor, the top floor, and it was the strip club down the block. So the staff from the strip club down the block had like their company party upstairs. So one of the security guards was pressing my security guard at Legends. And Legends is family. Legends is like straight, that's family. I've been there for like 8 years doing viewing parties. So he's pressing him, and then another security guard is about to roll up behind my security guard.
Uh-huh.
So I see that, I put him in a chokehold and I grab him. So I'm on the floor with him, and then his girl starts hitting me because I got him on the floor. And my ex-girlfriend took a space heater and knocked this girl over the head to get off me. So respect to the women that were part of the fight, because I like seeing that. You protecting your man.
That's what you're supposed to do. Shout out to the ladies. We don't play about our men. Thank you to my man, whatever. Lizzo. What? Not Lizzo. I didn't mean that. Don't count me, y'all. Lotto. Yeah. I don't know. Not Sexy Red. She said something about STD stud or some shit. I don't know what she said today. I'm like,
She's different.
Yeah, she definitely. The St. Louis Ratchets is different. They whole nother. That's a whole nother territory right there. Again, make sure y'all tune into Dynamite this week. Make sure you tune into Collision and also Rampage. We are building up to All In. The All In is a brewing, like I've been saying. So make sure y'all tune in so y'all won't miss anything. But if y'all miss anything, that's what the show is for. I will talk about it. I will get up on it. Hit the like button, subscribe, hit my Getaway Music gram.
You've mentioned a couple names recently. Who were they?
Listen, man. They call me the problem, but you could call me the can man, because anybody can get it. Africans, Americans, Dominicans, Mexicans, anybody can get it.